Hi and welcome to Natural Aesthetics. In this video I'm going to talk about how I've managed to continue to add muscle mass over the last few years as a natural bodybuilder, the mindset and training required to do this, and the way that I've improved my physique from what I would classify as an intermediate level to now an advanced level natural bodybuilding physique. I'd say there are four main categories that you can use to classify your development as a natural bodybuilder. That'd be beginner, intermediate, advanced and master, and within those four brackets you've got a few different tiers as well that would make up each bracket. And of course the lines aren't clear cut. You might have someone at the top end of advanced look very similar to the bottom end of master, so there's no science to it, it's a rough estimate. But I think the four categories are a nice way to kind of gauge your progress as a natural bodybuilder, to identify where you are in your journey. It's also motivational as well to know that there is more out there is more muscle mass to be had at those higher levels, as long as you pay your dues and stay consistent. Just to quickly point out that the comparisons here are from 2012 on the left and 2017 onwards on the right, bearing in mind that the clarity and the lighting is better on the left hand side, so from 2012, so it kind of skews the comparison off a little bit. Also in 2017 I was nowhere near peak strength. I had a debilitating scalp issue, so I was really trying to control the diet. I was having no gluten, no sugar, no dairy at all. I'd been on antibiotics and all sorts, and I was extremely mentally stressed about the whole situation. And I also had a lot going on in my personal life as well. So I ended up actually bailing out of the competition about 5 weeks prior to the competition date. So, that's 5 weeks out and it's not my full conditioning. So it's kind of not really a fair comparison, but it's the closest that I could get to it. Had I not had to go through all that stress on top, then I would have definitely been a lot bigger, a lot fuller and a lot stronger, and it would have been a fairer comparison. So going back a bit now to late 2012, early 2013, and that was my first kind of mini bulk prior to my 2013 show, and I really focused a lot on my squats, did some Smolov for squatting, just really upped my calories as well, and it paid off because in 2013 I had a lot more muscle mass than I had in the year prior, especially in the thighs. I thought I looked pretty good in the show. I was finally looking like a bodybuilder, and I think the hard work had really paid off. This was the first time really that I'd reaped the rewards of increasing my calorie intake. So after my 2013 show, I decided to do exactly the same protocol again. I increased my calorie intake really vigorously, and actually got up to about 101 kilos in early 2014. And in 2015 I competed again, and these are the results. I had definitely had more muscle mass in the hamstrings, a lot more definition in the legs in general, more lines, more mass in the shoulders and arms, especially the rear delts, and my back was definitely a lot more muscular. And bearing in mind as well, in 2014, I lost about 6 months because of nerve inflammation. I literally had to start my training from scratch. I was very, very weak and, kind of really lost half the year. So had I not been through that, I would have been even bigger and even more muscular in 2015. So you're going to watch some training footage now from that time period between 2014 and early 2015. Some highlights. Pretty much my training was focused on full body, push-pull or upper-lower. Very, very simple, high-frequency training, all heavy and in a permanent calorie surplus all the time. And, I sacrificed the abs and conditioning for increased strength in the gym. And although I wouldn't recommend bulking up to those extremes, I wouldn't do it myself again, I definitely benefited from that and was able to go forward with more muscle, and I think it helped push my physique into the advanced level, which, as I said before, is where most people kind of get stuck. I simply made an effort to eat more than anyone I knew and tried to train heavier than any other bodybuilder that I knew at that time. These were likely my most productive 2 years of training, and enabled me to continue to make progress at a time when it would have been so easy for my body to plateau, like so many other trainees that I knew at that time. So why is it such a big deal to go from intermediate level to advanced? For one, the law of diminishing returns. Everything gets harder. Once you're out of that beginner stage, you just have to work so much more for the muscle mass that you gain. You have to focus on your lifestyle and make sure you go into sessions with enough energy to get the results that you want. Your food has to be on point. There's so many factors you have to take into account that you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about in that beginner stage. So in terms of how it looks on a physique, overall mass, obviously, there's a difference between intermediate and advanced, just generally thicker in all areas, but especially the muscles that you wouldn't generally train when you first start out. So calves, hamstrings, your overall back mass, rear delts, forearms, the non-disco muscles. So for beginners, these parts are generally going to be very underdeveloped, and for intermediates, they're going to really lack that size that an advanced lifter would have. They've taken the time to work on those non-disco muscles, those smaller areas, those more annoying areas to train. And it pays in terms of how their physique looks. It's a lot more proportioned, a lot more balanced. Overall, just looks better. Unless you've got absolutely fantastic genetics and you're perfectly balanced in every way as an intermediate, you're more than likely going to have to spend a few years kind of ironing out those differences. And also just weak points. Let's say an intermediate has weak leg mass in general, weak quad mass, and going to that advanced stage would, you'd need to see a big increase in overall leg mass. You'd need to try and iron out those weaknesses, and do your best to really make that a strength. For me, that's what I would consider the difference from an intermediate to advanced. And training heavy, really, really heavy, very frequently, whilst eating a shit ton of food, that's what did it for me. It's as simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more no bullshit natural bodybuilding videos. If you've got any questions, then leave a comment in the comment section below. Stay strong.